So, the next question you asked yesterday.
Yeah, it was from the third verse of Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yeah.
Shuka Mukad. So I asked Prabhuji a question about the third verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, right? And in the second line there is Shuka Mukad Amrita Drava Sangyutam. That there is a special taste, and this taste is something that Srila Vyasadeva, who wrote this text, he's showing to us. There is some importance to this taste in how we understand Guru. So this was my just an unformulated question. I just wanted to bring this topic up because we were discussing about Guru, who is Guru, yesterday. And then you answered me outside the class that this is the most essential thing. And from that we can start again maybe to speak about that. That's my request.
So, this question that Madhavendra Puri Prabhu is asking, a very beautiful question, because the most essential thing in our life is to remain under the guidance of Uttama Bhagavad Guru. So we were saying that we may take Diksha in a Diksha line, but ultimately we'll have to find that Uttam Guru. And even for myself, I found a contradiction after I was speaking to Madhavendra Puri Prabhu yesterday. So you say, I said to him, Yasyam Vaisri Manayam Krishna Paramapurushi Bhakti Udpadite Pumsa Sukha Moha Bhayapaha. Yes, yep. Srimad, what's the Pibata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam Mahuaho Rasikabu Vibhavuka. Muhu aho rasikhabu vibhavuka. So the most valuable thing in our lives is our relationship with Gurudev. Because there's nothing else. If you think, Janmi Prabhu say, if I die or my Guru leaves this world, only I have how much relationship I have developed with my Guru. And that relationship, that understanding of that relationship, what Prabhuji is saying there is Pibata Bhagavatam, the taste. What has guided me personally for myself? I know, I was talking about this just recently on Srila Govinda Maharaj's appearance day. On the appearance day of my beloved Guru Pada Padma, I like to speak about his particular specialities in teaching. I'll keep referring back to Vilapa Kushamanjali because that's one of the first books that my Guru Maharaj asked me to go to Calcutta to find. Because these are very, very fine and special moods. And this is all connected actually what we were speaking before, because we hear and we don't process, the people who are saying Diksha line, that is because they're thinking with their brains and their intelligence. It's not parikya, it's not,
Parikya is almost like love regardless of social construction, or like social bonds.
It's all connected, isn't it? It's all connected.
Love beyond bounds.
Because if you want to structure everything and you want to make a society, there's no society here. Prabhuji is specifically saying this is not Gaudiya Math, it's not ISKCON. So I'm having the same question because every Srila Govinda Maharaj disciple thing I go on to their websites, it's all about Govinda Maharaj said we shouldn't leave ISKCON. This is absolutely nonsense. That's actually applying your own thing to him. You're limiting your Guru. You're taking a section of, I spoke about that yesterday, you have to take the teachings in toto, you have to hear a lot. So, what is a lot? How do you recognize a Guru? Because you're drinking his katha, Pibata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam. But how much should you do it? How much should you hear from your guru? Aho, muhu, aho, muhu, again and again. Muhu, aho, rasikabu vibhavaka. Again and again, hear from Rasik and Bhavuk Vaishnavas, so that you understand that taste, you understand that philosophy, you take it deep in your heart. And again, that goes back to what we were speaking just before we came on camera, is that when we're hearing, what is the process of hearing? What is the process of inquiry? If you're hearing, it's one of the most important things that my Guru Maharaj taught me. And I saw it when new devotees come, they sit and they listen to Gurudev. And they ask, I would say, in the words of Guru Maharaj, stupid questions. Don't ask me stupid questions, he would say, right? Because they're trying to think everything. And what I learnt is that Gurudev will speak about something and then something and then something, and you might hear the same topic from many, many different angles, like looking at Krishna through a diamond, through different facets. So you see different angles. So that's the process of hearing. When you hear, he said, don't think it up. Don't use your material mind and your material intelligence. When Harikatha is going in through your ears, try not to analyze it. What Guru Maharaj said is you take it in through these ears and don't let it go out the other side. So we used to sit in class like this with one hand so it wouldn't go out the other side. And then, so then the Harikatha should go down into your heart. And then by seva and by chanting, particularly chanting, we serving Harinam early in the morning, chanting nicely. And you see, that's what I see here in this kunj. The seva mood is so strong. So they're hearing for many months from Rasik Mohan Prabhu, hearing every day from Prabhuji. Surely questions must be coming. This is what I'm thinking, Jamuna.
Can I just make one short point in the hearing?
Yeah.
Just an interesting point about the idea of the parampara is that I was remembering that one of the first articles I translated, this was back in like 2008, 2009 when I first started translating. There's an article that talks about what is our parampara. It's fine there, it's fine. Our parampara is the Shrotriya parampara. The whole article is talking about that, Shrotriya. And Param Gurudev was talking about, he's saying, it's not the Diksha parampara. We're not the Gaudiya, Rupanuga, Swarup Rupanuga, Diksha parampara. Specifically, when they define our parampara, they say it is called the Shrotriya. And Shrotriya means hearing, Shroti. Our scriptures are called Shrutis, what is heard. And the most important limb of bhakti is, like, one of the most important limbs, the fundamental is hearing Harikatha. Gurudev said, you can do all these other things, but unless you hear Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavita Mati, you're never going to get this lolyam any other way.
Yeah, what's that? Dhamma Prajita Kaitavatra Paramon Nimatsaranam Satam. Last line is Shushu Bi Tatskinat.
Yes.
By taking Shushu through the ears. Tatkinat, immediately, this is manifest in the heart. So, unless if we're hearing so much, surely if we're processing, and this is really important for our Prem Academy, this is what devotees should be thinking about, that as we're hearing all of this Harikatha, we should be meditating on that when we're chanting. And when we chant, it will process. And then when we do seva, even more, because realization will come. You'll process it, and then some, because it's descending. It's not, if you think it up with the mind and intelligence, that's ascending. But realization of what we're hearing comes from mercy. It comes from descending process. It's achintya. It's inconceivable. It's actually inconceivable. And I can honestly say that when every question that I formulated, sometimes I'd wait for months, I'd be meditating on something, and then a really core essential question would come. And but inevitably, because I'm a bit of a jnani, too much in the intelligence of mind, I already sort of thought what the answer might be. And I asked my Guru Maharaj, and generally the answer was like 180 degrees opposite to what my thinking was. Like, oh, that's transcendental. You know, that's when your mind just goes, whoa, that's amazing. And also those questions, Guru Maharaj I could see he was relishing to answer that question. So Gurudev really likes it when we ask good questions. Not just asking questions willy-nilly or stupidly, like sometimes we hear it after class. Before. This is not. This is.
The world flat. Is the earth flat? Guruji, please.
Yeah.
Tell us once and for all.
So this is not what we. This is not what we want. We want sincere questions. We want we want devotees who have done service and people who are chanting nicely, who have heard from their Gurudev, from all the devotees who are empowered by Gurudev. And then this is the process of inquiry. This is spiritual life. Then, because you're hearing again and again, Mahu aho rasikabu vivavaka, then pibata bhagavatam rasamalayam. And this is why it's so important, because how did I know what how did I know Srila Gurudev was my Shiksha Guru? Because every time I sat down in the class, he took a thread that Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj was speaking 6 months before, and he would continue that thread, and he would look at me, and I'd go, whoa. It was like Srila Bhakti Rakshak Shri Maharaj says that when you accept Shiksha Guru, it's like you've been in first grade at school, and you get a school report at the end. Gurudev leaves, and there's some that's like an exam. How much have you heard? How well have you heard? How much have you tasted? How much have you recognized? And then he gives that report card to your second grade teacher. And he goes, oh, Gokul Das, D grade student. Anyway, I'll continue his class. I know where he's up to. I know where he's up to in his...
Disciplined.
He knows where he's up to in his class. And Gurudev would just nail it every time. You know, there was Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj asked a question in class in 1993. You said it the other day. Anyabalasi tasunyam jnana kamadi nabitam anukulyena krishnanu shilanam bhakti ruttama. Krishnanu shilanam. Is this is Krishna the suffix of shilanam, or is shilanam the prefix? So Guru Maharaj asked this question in 1993, and so I asked this question to Prabhuji in 2001 in Puri. 2001, the first Purushottam Parikram in Jagannath Puri. I was in Gurudev's room when Prabhuji was there, and he said, yes, this is the tika of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur on the verse of Rupa Goswami. But that's all he said. And then I came here last year, after 20-something years after Guru Maharaj asked this question, and we were making mala, and Krishna Karunya Prabhu heard this in the lecture. He heard the lecture of Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj where he's asking this question. So he came to me and he said, do you know the answer to this? And I said, no, I don't know, but I've been wondering for 20 years, 25 years, what is the answer to this question? So we were making mala, and I asked Prabhuji, I said, is this Krishnanu, meaning Radhika? And Prabhuji what I was hoping is that I would stimulate some conversation, and Prabhuji just said yes, but that's all he said. But then 2 days later, it was Rupa Goswami's Avirbhav celebration, and for 40 minutes Prabhuji spoke on it, and he explained complete everything. Well, not everything, of course, but very, very satisfying. So this is the process, this ongoing process. Whatever Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj used to say, he would, because he had that systematic process of reading one of Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada's shlokas every day. He would always say, what Prabhupada has said needs further explanation. It's like compressed cotton, and it needs to be expanded, right? But then I always used to think, well, whatever Guru Maharaj is saying, that needs further explanation. So Gurudev was explaining so many beautiful things about the highest If you listen to all of Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj's classes, you might think that Vipralambha and separation is the highest. But if you look at everything in our line, and it comes back to Vilapa Kushamanjali, it's all about Jugala Milan. Our Ishtadev is Radha Krishna Jugala Milan. We never want that Radha and Krishna as Sakhis. We're never happy. You said this in the class the other day. Gaudiya Vaishnavas should never be happy that Radha and Krishna are separated. Everything we're doing is about arranging their meeting. So if you look at the songs that Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj's grandfather wrote that are sung every year in the Vasanti Ras around Ram Navami time, between Ram Navami and the Purnim, they have 5 days of Vasanti Ras Kirtan. There's 5 days of separation. But what happens at the end? Radha and Krishna unite. What was Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj speaking on when separation mood, but at the end, the Nirvan union, eye-to-eye union, Radha and Krishna. And then he left this world. You see? So the first parikram we did, there's that beautiful lecture, I'm sure you've transcribed it, where Srila Trivikram Maharaj was speaking about separation and the highest thing. And we were right next to Prem Sarovara, and he was speaking about Prem Sarovara thing, but he was actually speaking like Mayavad, oneness and all of these things. And then at the end, he quoted that verse from the end of Ramananda Samvad. Nasa Ramani. So he said the highest oneness is in separation, when the mind of the lover and the beloved become one. This is Radha Krishna Pranaya Vrikati. This is at the point of Pranaya. Why Rupa Goswamis use Pranaya? Because at this point, the lover and the lover's mind become one.
It's very interesting because Mahaprabhu is Radha Krishna combined, but in his life, Mahaprabhu was always mostly in separation. And when he was in Gambhira, 18 years, Mahaprabhu is Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikriti, two lover and beloved as one. And yet in his Leela, he was always in Puri, the highest point of his Leela, he was experiencing separation for all these years. Very interesting.
Because it says at the end of Chaitanya Charitamrita that this Jagannath Puri Dham is Sadak Dham. And I think it's Chaitanya Charitamrita Leela, chapter 17, verse 17. Bhakti said in the purport of Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he says that bhajan in separation is the easiest way to obtain prem, the most efficient way. So Mahaprabhu is doing this lila in Sadak Dham, but the goal is to come in this dham, which is Siddha Dham. This is a dham for siddhas. Jagannath Puri Dham is a dham for sadaks, which is why Mahaprabhu's Chetra, Sadak Chetra. This is the thing about Krishna consciousness. It's all connected. It's all completely amazing and transcendental. Nobody can think this up. Nobody could possibly make something so complete and perfect. And you take one thread. So what I was going to say is that this understanding of Radha Krishna Pranaya Vrikati Ladani Shakti Rasmat Ekatman Vabhuvi Para Deha Vedam Gatoto. I think for me this is the point, is the most essential point, and it's my guiding principle, because in the 2008, maybe 2007, 2008 Parikram, Gurudev was the first part of the program. We were in Gopinath Bhavan, and every night Gurudev was asking us different sannyasis to speak on why Mahaprabhu came, which is interesting for the beginning of a Braj Mandal Parikram. And my realization at the time, I won't go into too much details, but I remember walking out at the end of the 7 days. Gurudev himself spoke, and he went to the last limit of why Mahaprabhu came. So if you look at Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's all about understanding the love of Radharani, especially Adi Leela chapter 4. So this is, in the beginning of Chaitanya Charitamrita, it comes back to this understanding the prayojan first. So all of the details of Radhika's love is given first by Kaviraj Goswami, because you're setting up the Prayojan first, the highest thing first. Right? After Pranam. After all the Pranam verses, and then explaining those verses in Adi Lila 4 are explaining Radha Krishna Pranay Vrikati, as well as Ramananda Samvad and other sections within Chaitanya Charitamrita. But if you look, that is the, and Gurudev said in Bali to myself and Ashram Maharaj, he said, your Guru Maharaj was speaking these topics, and when these topics come, Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj would say, when this topic of prem comes, I must speak, but they are cutting me, they're choking me. Last time I saw my Guru Maharaj, he was grabbing his neck beads and choking. Can't breathe, I can't breathe. They were cutting him. And Gurudev said, only your Guru Maharaj and myself are teaching this conception. And if now your Guru Maharaj has left, so if I don't speak, he said, they will not cut me from speaking, because they were obviously trying to stop Gurudev as well. He said, they will not cut from me from speaking. I will come with Sudarshan Chakra and I will cut their heads. He said, only your Guru Maharaj and myself are speaking these things. And unless now your Guru Maharaj has left, unless I speak this, it may leave this conception, this very highest conception, may leave this planet. So this is Pibata Bhagavatam Rasalayam. This is what we need to hear again and again from Rasik and Bhavuk Vaishnavas. And this is our guiding principle. Why I'm here? Because I'm hearing the same thing. This is what my desire for hearing is to be here and to understand Vilapa Kusumanjali Govinda Lilamrita. This is far beyond my adhikar. I'm not qualified in any sense, any way, but it's so nourishing, it's so helpful. And I recognize that my Guru Maharaj also was very greedy to hear these topics. Okay?
So
Enough today?
in 5 minutes, maybe you can ask the devotees if they have any questions by tomorrow. Okay. Thank you so much for